Hello and welcome back to your geography class. We have recently completed our chapter. So in today's class, we are going to discuss the back of the chapter questions, and in the next class, we are going to discuss inside the chapter questions. So kul milake, today we are going to discuss the exercise questions. So here is our question number 1 in the form of answer the following questions. And these questions do come in 1, 2, 3 or 4 or whatever is your limit. As you are in 8th class, so the question can come for 5 marks also. Which are the two main climatic factors responsible for soil formation? For the making of the soil, there is an entire process, and two climatic factors are responsible for that. And whenever we talk about the climatic condition or climatic factors, we have to consider two terms. Which are those? They are temperature and rainfall. So certainly for this answer, we are going to consider these two. So here is the answer. Two main climatic factors responsible for the soil formation are temperature and rainfall. Question number 2. Write any two reasons for the land degradation at today's date, going on today. So there are various factors for the land degradation that are going on, and we are still practicing them. Besides knowing that we should not do that. This is what humans are. So the reasons are deforestation and overgrazing, because animals do want their fodder crops, and from where they are going to get it when we are already utilizing the agricultural land for some other purposes. So they have to graze, eat somewhere. So these are the responsible factors at today's date. Out of many, main two. Next question. Why is land considered as an important resource? Because it is used for various purposes, and the most important for the shelter purpose of the humans, as well as land is also used by the animals and plants also for the shelter, for the food, and the common factors that we are using for. Still, here is the answer. Land is an important resource because it can be used for various purposes. Shelter is the main. Keep that thing in mind. And then it supports agriculture, forestry, mining, building or construction of the houses, construction of the industries in the name of industrial activities. Next question. Name any two steps that the government has taken for what? To conserve the plants and animals. So government has opened national parks and wildlife sanctuaries. So two steps that the government has taken to conserve the plants and wildlife or animals are establishment of national parks and wildlife sanctuaries. Along with that, deforestation for the plants part, forest part, and ban on hunting and poaching for the conservation of wildlife or animals part. So implementation of laws to prohibit it. Implementation, लागू करना, prohibit, ban करना. What? Poaching and hunting. Poaching and hunting both are the killing of animals, but in poaching we are hunting the animals for the illegal smuggling of their either or body parts के लिए, and trade of endangered species that I was just giving you the answer for the part. Next is suggest 3 ways to conserve water. How we can save water. As we have discussed all the resources, so now we are talking about the water conservation. Of course, we should not pollute it, and we should not use more and more pesticides and fertilizers. What else? So they are, we should do the rainwater harvesting. Of course, whatever rainwater is coming on the earth's surface, it is the purest form of water. It means fresh water. तो इसको हमें बचाना है. Harvest, not to cut it, because harvesting word is related to the cutting of the ripened crop. So we are not talking about the ripening of water or ripening of the rainwater. We are talking about to store, how to store or the storage of the rainwater. Next is lining irrigation canals to prevent seepage. So wherever the roughly is water being delivered, not the canals, not with the help of canals. So over there, good canals should be maintained. Good canals, we are talking about the pakka canals. Yes, the name is given as pakka because they are constructed with the help of bricks and cement, so that the water should not seepage, मतलब पानी leak नहीं होना चाहिए. So for that part, canals should be constructed. Then using drip irrigation system, Boond Boond Sinchai Yojana, that is the name given by the government. In the areas where the less amount of water is available or no amount of water is available, only the rainfall is responsible for whatever crop is grown in that area. So use drip or sprinkler system. It just sprinkles the water in 4 of the directions while revolving or rotating. That is. Then tick the correct answer, kind of MCQ. So first question, which one of the following is not a factor of soil formation? So we have to figure out that is not a factor. So time is a factor, organic matter is a factor, which is not soil texture. So our answer is soil texture. Then which one of the following methods are most appropriate, the best one to check soil erosion on steep slopes? Slopes are of 2 types. Let me recall that. One is of gentle slope and one are of steep, khadi hui chattane. So which is the better option to conserve the soil or to stop soil erosion? So that is terrace farming or terrace cultivation. 3 of them are the processes to stop the soil erosion, but the most appropriate for the steep slopes is terrace farming, CD Numa Khet in Hindi. Next, which one of the following is again not in favor of the conservation of nature? So out of these 3 tasks, which is the one which is not being done to conserve the nature? So switch off the light, it is to conserve. Close the tap if it is running or leakage is there, it is to conserve. What is not there? Dispose polypacks after shopping, just throwing them here and there. It is the one. So answer is this one. Moving with the next one, match the following. So we do have 4 options in the column A. Let me make it for you. And we do have 5 options in column B. How to solve it? So good question for that part. These are 4 and these are 5. Of course, we have to dig out the perfect answer. And for that, we have to match the related one. So our first topic is of land use. And land use prevents soil erosion? Not at all. This is the define of biosphere, but we have to figure out the first one. So productive use of land comes in land use. So I will write number 1. Second, humus. So humus is particularly our organic matter depositing on the topsoil. It is very good for agriculture to increase the fertility of the soil. So at the back there is no such space, so I am going to write ahead. So D will be the answer for part 2. Third is rock dams. So it prevents soil erosion. This is the answer number 3. And then we have biosphere. So biosphere is a narrow zone comprising 3 of the other spheres. Kaun se bhai? Lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere. And they are meeting at a point where it is the suitable place for the living ones or the living organisms. So this is the defined narrow zone of contact between the lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere. So the suitable zone for the living organisms. And next is of true and false part. So state whether the given statement is true and false, and if true, we have to give the reason also. We are not just going to write true and false, we have to specify the reason if it is false. So our first statement is Ganga Brahmaputra plain of India is an overpopulated region because it is a fertile region. So the answer is true because they are densely populated as agricultural land is there, and they are plain, so several other human activities can be conducted as well. Next, water availability per person in India is declining because population is growing with the rapid speed. So answer is true, and this is due to the rising population, urbanization, shahrikaran, cities are growing, and over exploitation of water resources. We are just wasting water without any purpose, so that should be stopped. Next, rows of trees planted in the coastal areas. Coastal areas are areas where the land and water meet. So we are talking about certainly the peninsular part of India that is surrounded. What is peninsular? Peninsular land is a landmass that is surrounded by water from 3 sides. So, Arabian Sea, Bay of Bengal and Indian Ocean. So, we are talking about these coastal areas, these one. So, rows of trees planted in a coastal areas to check the wind movement is called intercropping? Not at all. Intercropping is in between the grown crop you are growing something else. That is intercropping. Not to leave the soil barren or not to leave the soil unused. Of course, to stop the soil erosion. So, answer is false. It is called shelter belts, not intercropping. Human interference and changes of climate can maintain the ecosystem? Not at all. They are going to drastically change the ecosystem and can destroy the ecosystem as well. So, answer will be false certainly. So, human interference and climate changes often disturbs the ecosystem. They don't maintain the ecosystem. So, that was all about the book wala question answers. Means at the back side of the chapter these questions were given and we have discussed those answers. So that's all for the today's class. Soon we are going to catch up for the extra questions discussion. Till then, keep focusing on to your studies. Take care. Bye bye.